Hello, welcome to Your Simple Golf Swing. I'm Matt. I want to talk to you a little bit about tempo and how you can use your tempo more efficiently and more effectively to bomb your drives. A lot of people get this wrong, okay? A lot of people don't understand tempo. They don't understand how to use it in the most efficient and effective and powerful way. So we're going to cover that in this video here. Before I get started, if you want to learn the golf swing a lot faster, the Mike Austin, Mike Dunaway swing method, please go down in the description and click the link for my online course. You can click and sign up and get started right away and learn the entire Mike Austin, Mike Dunaway swing, which I call the Your Simple Golf Swing method, in just a matter of days, and you'll be hitting the longest, most accurate drives of your life. Okay, let's get into today's lesson. Now, many people out there, what I see is a problem with a lot of golfers is when they get the driver in hand, they swing a lot harder than they do with any other club in their bag. Well, that's kind of a guaranteed way to not make solid contact on the center of the club, on that sweet spot that's going to give you the longest, most accurate drives. Now, Mike Austin, back when he was still alive and he was above the age of 70, he went traveling with Mike Dunaway's 350 club. It was a club made up of a bunch of guys that could all hit the ball over 350 yards, which was unheard of back in those days. And everybody that was on that tour, all the different, sluggers out there that were just bombing the ball, they were just so impressed with Mike Austin because Mike Austin, again, 70 years old, was still averaging 309 yards a drive during all of their exhibitions. And one of the things they said to Mike Austin was, they said, "Mike, how are you hitting it so far? You look like you're just playing with it." Well, Mike Austin and Mike Dunaway both knew a secret that I'm going to share with you here. Now, the tempo of the golf swing is something that you want to groove, and you don't want to groove a tempo different for every club in your bag. I teach that it's the same swing for every club in your bag. Mike Austin taught that, Mike Dunaway taught that, Jack Nicklaus taught that. That was one of his big secrets. Same swing, every club in your bag. So, how is it then that we can take, say, a 9-iron and hit it maybe 130 yards, but then when we get the driver in our hand, now all of a sudden we're reaching distances 250, 275 plus, if we're not changing our swing, not changing our tempo. I want to show you a neat little illustration here. Now, we know that each club is a different length, starting with the wedges and then moving on up. As you get to the longer clubs, every club is about a half-inch longer than the previous club. The 9-iron is a half-inch longer than the pitching wedge. The 8-iron is a half-inch longer than a 9-iron. So what does that mean? How does that inform us on our tempo? I want to show you a pretty cool little illustration here. Now, we know distance traveled in a certain amount of time gives us our speed, and we're going to call that tempo here, okay? So we're going to take this pitching wedge, and I'm going to hold it just like this. It's horizontal to the ground, and I'm going to let it go, and we're going to see when it gets to its stopping point, and I'm just going to count off 1001, okay? Now this is a very short club in lengthwise. Here's the driver. See the difference in the length, not the height, and I've explained the difference in height, or how they're all the same height in a previous video. But now we take the driver and we're going to do the same thing, 1001. Now, what did I just demonstrate there for you? What I'm demonstrating is that because of the longer length in shaft, even though we're traveling the same distance, or we're traveling in the same amount of time, the distance is different. This is a shorter club. The length of the club is shorter. So it's not traveling. The head is got a lot smaller radius than the head of that driver. So therefore it's traveling a shorter amount of distance, but it's doing it in the same amount of time. So let's say this is a car going down the highway. All right, and it's traveling 1 mile or a half a mile. It's going to travel a half a mile in 60 seconds. That tells me it's going 30 miles an hour. This car is traveling 1 mile in 60 seconds. That tells me it's going 60 miles an hour, okay? But what I'm trying to get across here is we want our swing to take the same amount of time. Same amount of time, different distances traveled. So what does that mean for your golf swing? Well, if you take your pitching wedge, and we're just gonna hit a nice mellow little shot here, take our little pitching wedge, and we're just gonna swing away like that. Now when we get the driver in hand, what we don't want to do is we don't want to physically try to speed that up. What we're going to do is we're going to hit the driver at the exact same tempo, meaning I'm not going to swing any harder, I'm not going to swing any faster. I'm going to let the length of the club and the length of the swing, which causes a greater distance traveled in the same amount of time, that's going to give me the increased speed. My little beagle here wants to help demonstrate. Pumpkin, move away from Daddy. She has to have a donut on because she can actually fit through my fence. I put this fence up for her so she'd have a nice backyard to run around in, and she can kind of slither right through it like we call her a python. We'll have to wait until she's done. Thank you, Pumpkin. Okay, here, go chase the ball. Go chase the ball. All right, let's try that again. So we're gonna do the driver swing just like we did the pitching wedge swing, just nice and mellow. We're not gonna add any speed or any effort. Now what happened there is because this is a longer club, longer swing, same amount of time, it's traveling faster than our pitching wedge. When we swing it at the same tempo that we're swinging our pitching wedge, we have a much better chance of hitting that sweet spot. We have a much better chance of squaring that club head or the club face to the target line. Therefore, we're going to have more accuracy, we're going to have more distance. If you're getting out there and you get that driver in your hand and you think, okay, I got to hit a long one, and you start thinking you got to swing harder and faster, you're going to tense up. And when you tense up, you actually slow down. And it's also going to cause you to over-exaggerate all your golf movements, and you're going to get off balance. Your tempo is going to be off, your rhythm is going to be off, and you're not going to get that club face square to the target line, and you're not going to hit the sweet spot. Therefore, you're going to lose distance. So I hope this tip helps you out. Again, I highly recommend that you take my online course. It goes through every single part of the golf swing, and it'll get you hitting your best golf of your life in very quick order. And thank you for digging a hole, Pumpkin. Appreciate it. Everyone, give a hand to Pumpkin. Yay!